camera is working. It is. Excellent. Cool. Welcome to this Tuesday stream. It has been a week. I'm very sorry for not being here last week, but yeah, the circumstances were special, so I decided to give it a week off. And yeah, today we can continue, right? So we can go ahead and look at some fun AWS tech. Hello, Graham, and welcome back to the stream. Okay, first of all, is the sound okay? I think it is, but I'm not sure. Is it loud enough? Because I've moved everything. So okay, sounds good. Thank you. Excellent. Streaming everywhere. Streaming this. Streaming YouTube. That's good. I think we can slowly kick it off. Let me just open something on this side. Put a bit of white in the screen so you can kind of see the brightness. Cool. Okay, so today's topic is actually to have a look at AWS Chatbot, which is a service that provides you a chatbot on Slack and Amazon Chime. So if you're using Slack or Amazon Chime and you wish to have a little bot that can help you with monitoring, notifications, even some potential Lambda executions, or if you want to run some command line through your chat program, I guess, it's a great tool to do it. And in the past, people did this, so this is nothing new, right? So people integrated CloudWatch alarms, they integrated notifications coming from AWS through Slack or to any chat program they use, through the use of bots or through the use of some third-party API integrations. This was quite very possible. This is not something new. But in the latest period, I'm not sure if people saw the news that we get to finally use Slack at AWS. So there's a massive collaboration between Slack and Chime. So Slack will be using, if I read it correctly, Chime's voice and video APIs in the backend, and I'm pretty much excited about that. And I want to see how can we work with a bit more Slack and this service Chatbot. Chatbot was released not so long ago, and don't get it confused with Lex. Lex is this other service which is based on machine learning that will help you make a chatbot, but it's a different kind of chatbot. Hello, Akram Wolf, I guess. Oh, hello. It's Lex is a different service that basically helps you build voice and text chatbots for communication. Chatbot on the other side is just different, right? It's just a different thing. It's a thing that basically spits information back at you, and you have some ability to interact with it. It's like an out-of-the-box solution, so it's pretty neat and pretty easy to start working with. So pretty cool. So yes, Fatboy Trendolan Zdravo and Fatboy6 is not the chatbot. Well, I know him. He may act as a chatbot from time to time, but he is not. If you were ever in the same channel with him, he acts like a bot and just keeps on spamming with messages, and you know who you are. Okay, so today I guess I'll try to set up stuff on Slack and Chime. So I've actually created a Slack workspace just for kicks to test this out, and this will be relatively easy because compared to doing it the other way or the manual way with APIs, this is super simple. Like I hope I can make this video entertaining enough so you stick around a bit. Okay, where is this thing? Come on. No, I need to switch into this. Yes, excellent. So we're going to be spending most of today not on the command line, unfortunately. We're going to be looking at the web UI. So that should be fun. Oh, let me go here. Oh, and you also may have a chance to see Slack, right? Oh, Akram Wolf is preparing for a DevOps Pro exam. Wish me good luck. Oh, all the best of luck to you, sir. One thing I must reiterate when it comes to pro exams on AWS, don't learn from brain dumps. Don't try to learn things by heart from some trainings out there. Trainings do help massively, but learning things by heart or by just remembering questions and answers is futile, because questions in pro exams are made in such a way that you cannot just remember what's the answer based off a few words on that just because you remembered it in that sense. So you have to take your time, slowly read through the questions, right? So read through the question and make sure you're answering the correct question, because they can be masked in such a way that they might seem like a different type of question, but they're actually something very, very different. And also, if English is not your primary language, I believe there's an opportunity that you can request an additional half an hour for your pro exams. So do check that out. All right, chatbot. So what I have here right now is I have my Slack channel or workspace. Literally, it's only me. Yes, I've just created it. It's a blank workspace. It's a free one. So, yes, always try to see if there's an answer you can eliminate first. Absolutely. So I have a workspace here, and I'm the loneliest person in the world. I am in this Slack workspace by myself, and I want to add the ability to have a chatbot to make me company and also send me some notifications, right? So there's various things chatbots can do, but these are kind of the most common things people use them for, is for notifications, or maybe some sort of invocation of a specific script. You can also invoke a Lambda function as well, I believe. So, but let's start with this. Let's integrate this thing with Slack. So to get started, you go to your AWS console and just search for Slack chatbot, right? So chatbot. You get both Lex and chatbot here, like that. Let's select chatbot. And the easiest way to do is select your chat client. Currently, we have Chime and Slack supported. So I'll just go ahead and pick on Slack and click configure client. Now this will take me actually to my currently logged in Slack workspace. I'm currently logged into RUP12 Slack workspace, and I'm just gonna give it permissions for that, right? So I'm gonna click allow, and yeah, so I've actually right now configured chatbot to work with Slack. He does it, right? Now that's not all. So we need to add a few more things here. For example, I need to add well, what it's going to do, right? Or I need to configure a channel. Now the channel is basically think of it as what this thing does, a specific bot in its sense. So let's create this call. Let's call it the stream Slack bot. You can also publish logs. So chatbot supports pushing logs, and when I say logs, I mean chatbot logs. So whatever chatbot records or what kind of request it gets, it will also log those things. So this is a great thing for auditing and permission and security, so you can actually see who did what. So I'm not gonna do this for the time of being, and I want to also join at the channel. Let's actually create a specific channel for my Slack bot. I will do this. I will create a channel called stream me some bots. Cool. Excellent. I won't add anybody. So I will add this thing. Let me just refresh. So stream me some bots. Excellent. So this bot, or this basically configuration, will be added to this channel on Slack. Now you can create an IAM role using a template. So if I do this, if I do stream chatbot role, and I can also specify which template. So I can only just use notification templates, which will give you the basic notification permissions, such as getting things from CloudWatch, or you can get SNS notifications, those kind of things. You can also get read-only command permissions by giving your bot read-only permissions, right? Basically, you can run AWS S3 LS, like the command line utility, to list your buckets or those things. You can give it permissions to invoke Lambda functions. You can, in essence, tell the chatbot to actually trigger some Lambda functions to do more complex things. Also, which is really cool, you can actually invoke, well, you can have the chatbot invoke support. So one of the things you can do is say, hey, open up a support ticket, and then you explain what's going on, and the chatbot actually opens up a support ticket within AWS, because it might be very useful to do it from your chat app, right? So I'm going to currently give it just notifications and read only. So I think those are the things I'm going to be playing around with today. And now let's have a look at notifications. So this is kind of one of the basic things people use this for is notifications. So I want to actually give it an access to one of my SNS topics I have here. So if I go to EU, Europe, Ireland, so I'm going to choose EU West 1 for the SNS region. And the topic is CFN prod. Now this topic I've created before, and this topic is basically I'm using it for any production based CloudFormation templates to set notifications if they're published or not. So if I do that and click configure, that's it. So I have successfully configured the Slack channel. Messages from the supported services. There are a few things, few services that are supported will be from that SNS topic will automatically be delivered to a channel. Now, to add this Slack bot to a channel, I actually need to invite it. So if I go over to this, and one of the things you may see here after refresh, you will see that there should be an app, or there should be an app, I believe. If I do this, AWS Chatbot, there we go. Now, if you do this for the first time, this should automatically show up like this. So an app. But actually, I need to invite it. Even though I created the channel or specified which channel I wanted to do, I need to invite. And so, well, excellent. So I've added my chatbot here, and this chatbot is actually now poised to start working on this Slack channel. So let's have a look. Slackbot. I see that I have this SNS topic here. Now let me actually show you a proper use case. So I will actually deploy a stack using CDK, and I will get the messages about the current state of that stack through this bot. Now I need to go to this SNS thingy here. Okay, let me have a look at this CFN prod thing. I need this ARN number. So let me just copy this and go back to my terminal. So here I have a CDK application. If I just npm, I hope this works. I did it on my other laptop, so I don't know if it will work on this one. I just cloned the repository, npm run build, fingers crossed. Work. It works, excellent. So I will actually CDK deploy, and I will also use the following option, -- notification ARNs. So if you do CDK deploy -- notification ARNs and just pass it this ARN here, I'm actually gonna do it like this. So if I pass it this, once this stack is deployed or it changes status or it's whatever, right, you will see it will be sending a notification to this SNS topic, right? And this SNS topic, because it's connected to my chatbot that's currently sitting, well, on Slack, I should be getting notifications from CDK or from CloudFormation about the current status of my stack. So if I do this and cross my fingers, this works. Yeah, I want to change. Now, this doesn't matter what this stack does. It creates just an EC2 instance with user data. But one of the things we should be seeing here, hopefully, if this thing gets passed, yes, excellent. So we see that there's an event, and my bot automatically says, hey, you know what? Your stack has changed status. It's review in progress. Okay, that's passed. Also, your stack is currently in create in progress, which is cool. So I can see that this is deploying a change set. And if we copy this link and open it up here, it will take me to CloudFormation and select the stack in itself. We can see that it's currently in creating progress. Now, once this is complete, I should be able to see, hey, the stack creation has been completed. While this is happening, I need to check me something. By the way, I noticed something. I don't mention I work for AWS. I'm not sure if all people that watch this stream know I work for AWS, so I want to make sure I'm fully transparent about that, because I get people asking me about, hey, you know what, about the specific AWS service or where do I work at. I actually work for AWS, so I just want to make sure people are aware of that. So I don't seem like I don't want to look like I'm hiding it or something. It's a great place to work at. Okay, so this is currently in creating progress, and actually, I mean, there's nothing you need to do actually on a Slack for this page. It just works, right? That's the thing. It just works. So I'm just waiting for this to come back clean to basically finish this creation, and I've for some reason chosen a template that actually takes some time to create. So yeah, I'll give it a moment or so. Also, for anybody on stream, this Friday, I will be having another stream. Well, there's going to be a stream on Thursday, but on Friday is there a special stream again with my colleague Kobus. If you remember, if you were here last time, Kobus and I are basically both working at for the same company. He's my colleague. He's based out of South Africa. He looks very much like me, and both of us will be actually doing another stream, and it's kind of a different type of stream. It's him and I have a drink while discussing technology and doing something, so it should also be fun. DM Cardle asks, no angle, no Commodore 64 sign on door. Oh yeah, actually, the camera was here before, and I moved it now here, so if I would move my camera a bit. Well, there it is, see? Yeah, so I kind of figured the camera would be better in this location. Unfortunately, this means that I have to hide my Commodore 64 sign. But I'm not sure if it's possible to see for anybody with a keen eye. Somewhere here, there's an Amiga 500 box, so it's a bit blurry. So, but yeah, there's an Amiga 500 box there, and I'm not sure what else do I have a couple of Raspberry Pi boxes as well, and yeah. But my Commodore 64 is actually the thing is there, and I have my Amiga down here as well. So, yeah. Okay. Lastly, we can see that we got a notification. It's a really lovely emoji checkmark saying CloudFormation stack event create complete. So it basically gave us a saying, hey, you know what? It's done. This is the notification I've got, and it works. So and if I want to do a bit more, this is not the command line. So I can do at AWS. If I just do at AWS and just question it like that, it will actually tell me what it's capable of. So you will see that there's a few things at AWS can do, or this chatbot can do. You can basically use the standard CLI syntax. I'm not sure why would you do that here, unless you want to show it to somebody else in the group, maybe. But in general, if you would be running CLI commands, and these are read-only CLI commands for this case, you can do it like that. You can also describe an alarm. You can, and this is a great thing. You can actually create a support case. So if your bot has permissions to actually create support cases, you can do that from here. So by using at AWS support create case, and then basically prompt you from a subject, and then it will prompt you for a body, like what is the support case about. And again, like all the EC2 things, you can just run any command. You can also create a default account if you have a bot configured for multiple accounts. You can define a specific account you want to use. Now, actually, let me show you. So if I do AWS S3 list buckets, this is a read-only command, and it should actually throw. Okay. Before I can run the commands, I need to which AWS. Aha, okay, so I need to define a region, not CLI. So at AWS S3 S4 list buckets region EU West 1. It doesn't really matter for S3, but it's CLI, so there you go. It will actually show me all the buckets I have created and the creation date and all those things. So again, read-only things it can do. It can also do at AWS EC2 describe instances region. West. Again, it will do the same. It will just show throw out a whole lot of information here, because especially the describe EC2 instance call is massive. So yeah, it will do a lot of those things. Actually, let me have a look. Can I do it? Do I have to define the region every time at AWS S3 list buckets? Do I have to do it all the time? No, I have to define the region only once. That's fine. Excellent. It saves this thing. Pretty cool. So that's a really neat way to kind of have this used on Slack. And to be fair, for most people, this is sufficient. Now, because you get the versatility with SNS to send any kind of thing to SNS, and it will just notify you here on Slack. Now, let's do something else. Let's keep with the same thing, but actually let's do it on Chime. So I know not a lot of people may be using Chime. Well, not as much people are using Chime as they're using Slack. So, but I want to show you how this is done on Chime. So if I go to here, I want to create a client for Chime, right? If I click configure your client, I want to do it for Chime. And for Chime, it's a different thing. It's not, so it's a bot, but it's actually essentially works through webhooks. So for Slack, I had to have permissions on the Slack workspace. So I had to have permissions to actually grant the chatbot permissions to my Slack channel. On Amazon Chime, you can do it basically on any Chime organization you're a member of, as long as you can create a channel or a channel. So as long as you can create a channel, you're free to create a chatbot for it, because it uses webhooks. It doesn't in general connect to it directly. So let me actually show you. The Amazon Chime, I'm going to call it stream bots for Chime. And it asked me for a webhook URL. Now, I need to show you my Chime window. I have only one Chime set up. It's my company Chime, so I need to kind of, I think I need to hide some information from here, so I kind of made it work like this, so you don't see my chat pages here. Yeah. Nobody from AWS message me right now, please. So I need to create a webhook. So if I click on room settings here, so this is a room I've created called Stream Bots. And this Chime room, it's only myself in there and nobody else. If I click here and click manage webhooks and bots, it will basically allow me to add a webhook like so. We'll call it streaming chatbot, like so. And it will create a webhook, which I click copy URL, done, and paste it here. Now this URL, this lovely long hook, can be used for my chat. So if I go here, this is bot form. There you go. Again, the same thing as before. We can publish the logs to CloudWatch. I don't want to do that. Now, instead of creating a new IAM role, I'm going to actually just choose an existing one because I have it created. Chat. This is the Steam chatbot role. This is the one we created before. And also, I need to go again. I'm going to choose SNS because it's very simple to show. EU Ireland, and now choose CFN prod and go ahead and configure. Cool. So this will show up now. It takes a moment or so for this to be subscribed to SNS bots, to SNS, right? So if I would be if I would just go and send a notification right now, I would most likely not receive it because there's some eventual consistency of it actually connecting to SNS or well, subscribing to that topic. So I'll give it a minute or so. I think it seems connected. So let me just have a look here. It shows me 1 subscriptions, but I think it will always keep the same one here no matter what. Yeah. Okay, let's now do something else. So if I go to command line, so I can see that my stack is created. Let's destroy it, right? So let's kill this stack. Because I will also get notifications for destroying the stack. So if I go here and say destroy, I'm sure I want to destroy the stack. And it's destroying. So now I should get notification. Where we go? See, the chatbots showed up. It's this webhook. It showed up and saying, hey, This is delete in progress, and we can also see it on Slack that it is delete in progress. So we have it on both sides, like so. Now I'm wondering, how can I interact with this thing? Can I do add meaning something? Add bot? No. Can I do this? Interesting. I think I cannot invoke it from this side, right? No. Interesting. See, some of the functionalities are not available in Chime apparently. Actually, let's have a look. Chatbot. Let's see what what things does it have in documentation. There we go. I want to see what features does it have compared to Slack or Chime. So, okay. Apparently, you can use CLI directly in Slack, so it's not possible through Chime. Well, it doesn't say it explicitly that it is not possible, but I would imagine that this does not work because they specifically mention Slack. So, yeah, interesting. Yeah, you can use multiple. You can use the multiple accounts in Slack. That's perfectly fine. Let's see. Okay, so these are the services that are supported officially through SNS topics. Billing and cost management, CloudFormation, notification for developer tools, so all the code tools, pipelines, builds, deploys, CloudWatch alarms, and CloudWatch events. So those things are directly supported through SNS topics on Chatbot. Let's have a look. What do we have here? Getting started. Now, the roles it gives it in the beginning are quite important. Don't give your chatbot all roles. I don't think you can actually, even if you try to. So let's see this AWS. Let's try to AWS S-Stream. Help. It will show me S3 help, right? So how do you create the bucket, right? So let's create a bucket. AWS S3 create bucket dash bucket name darkos bots bucket. Now it doesn't have permission to do this, right? I just want to see if okay, the command is not enabled. Interesting. See, it doesn't even throw like an IAM error. It just throws that, hey, this command is not enabled. Can I enable that? Let me have a look. If I click settings, actually, it's going to launch Slack window. So it's going to log me into the Slack workspace. And there's not a lot of things you can do, right? So it has all those things. You can remove the application itself. You can have some information about the chatbot, etc. Again, this is a relatively new service. This is a service that came from back, I think, just end of last year. So I think more and more features will come into this one. But I do find it very, very interesting because it's super easy to work with. It's just like very, very simple to integrate into your Slack or Chime interactions you may have. As you can see here, again, it created this event here, but again, I cannot talk to it, I cannot run commands from it. So if you're using Slack, well, you have a bit more opportunity, more things to do here. On Chime, it will just send you notifications as such. That's very cool. Is there something else we need to look at? Important thing. Let's see how much money does this cost. I have not had a look of the pricing in this. So Chatbot pricing. There's no additional charge. Oh, it's a free service. There you go. So yeah, the only thing you pay for is the actual SNS costs, and that's it. So I think this is a really great thing to for this. Super simple. I really hope that it wouldn't be like per message cost or something like that. But the only cost you have is per SNS. What are the SNS costs as well? I bet SNS costs are complicated. $50 per million SNS requests. That's fine. That's okay. That's not too much. If you start getting 1 million notifications, it might be a bit more expensive. Yeah, is it the same in Ireland? Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. All right. So this is a very simple service. Like, I don't really have a lot more things to look into this besides just what I did right now. Again, you can kind of query CloudWatch alarms as well. I'm not sure if I have a CloudWatch alarm that I can have a look at. Let's actually see CloudWatch like so. Let's look at alarms. Is there an alarm? I have no alarm. Well, because I'm using Ohio, let me actually move to Ireland. Because when you use Chatbot, it defaults you to Ohio because it's a global service. Let's actually have a look at an alarm. Let's look at this SQS message count. How does one have a look at an alarm with this? So if I go again like this at AWS, what bad? Will you tell me what you do, sir? Yes. All right. It can describe me. Well, I mean, this is just super simple. So if I do at AWS, no. At AWS, describe. So it will show me all the things in alarm. There we go. But it's great because it shows me an actual graph for each of the alarm states. So it ran this command in this account. You will see that there's one alarm for AppStream example stack, something I have sitting around, and it will show you here like so an image, which is pretty cool. You can also find this image in this link. If I open it up here, it's an available image. That is pretty nice. What else? What else can we do? Yeah, also, if I actually go to the app and do something here, I think I can AWS like that. I can interact with it directly as well through this. Will you do that? I do at AWS. So, nope, it doesn't work this way. No, it actually works only in channels, so it will work only in this case. So what is great about bots in general, right? So you can give some users permissions to basically, if they're part of a channel, to have read-only access to some AWS information, right? So you have your operations team, instead of giving them permissions locally on their CLI, laptops, whatnot, or they can do it from wherever, you can do it from your phone, right? So if I would be a part of this thing on my phone, where I cannot run my CLI command, I can just ask the bot, hey, you know what, just, can you describe me all alarms? And I will just be able to see this by myself. So I think that's a pretty cool, neat little feature of this. Okay, that kind of brings me to the end of the stream. I did not have any more things to talk about. I like simple services, and well, it's a half-an-hour stream. It's a bit more than half an hour, but I think that's fine. So thank you very much for joining the stream. I will be seeing you on Thursday afternoon, at the same place. On Thursday, I will actually be looking at a bit more complex service, which not a lot of people talk about. It's called app config. So if you're interested in app config and a bit more operational aspects of it, what is app config? What are feature toggles? What are those kind of things? Join me Thursday, same time, same place, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you are looking this stream into. So yeah. Thank you very much. Let me just switch to my full face. Thank you very much again for joining. I wish you have a really nice rest of the week. Bye bye.